Hello friends, welcome to .NET Awesome YouTube channel. In the previous article of the series Learning Angular 2 Step by Step, we have learned about Angular 2 component. Now it's time to learn about Angular 2 directive. In this tutorial about Angular 2 directive, we will know about different types of Angular 2 directives, how to use them, and then we will see how to create a custom directive in Angular 2. There are three types of directives in Angular 2: components, attribute directives, and structural directive. In the previous video, Angular 2 component, we have already seen how to create and use a component in Angular 2. So here in this video, we will learn about attribute directives, and in the next video, we will learn about structural directives. Let's start with attribute directives. So what is attribute directives? Attribute directives are used to change the appearance or behavior of an existing element. In the name attribute directive, you can guess that there is something with the element's attribute, right? Yes, it is. Attribute directives are used as attributes of elements. Let's see how to use attribute directives in our existing element. There are some most commonly used built-in attribute directives like ngClass, ngStyle. Let's use them first and then we will create our custom attribute directive. Okay, let's start. I'm going to open the previous application what we have created in the previous tutorial. I have already given the download link of the previously created application in this video description. You can download the application if you want. So this is the folder. Select your application folder from here and then click here, select folder. Okay, so this was our previous created application, but we have created the nested component. So you can see there is an employee list component, we have shared folder, we have created search bar component, all are there. Now here we will see how to use built-in attribute directives. If you go to here, employee list folder, you can see this is the employee list component what we have created in the Angular 2 component tutorial video. So and this is the template of that component, employee list dot component dot html. Okay, here we have rendered all the employee list for showing in a table. So this is the employee list component what we have created in Angular 2 component tutorial. In the template of this component, I'm going to apply attribute directive in the tier HTML element here. Okay, let's use ngClass built-in attribute directive first. So what I need to do here, I will add class dot, then I need to provide one class name here, CI special, and then I need to provide boolean value here. So it's based on, suppose I want to apply this special class when the employee ID is 1. Okay, so you can see here this line. Here I have used ngClass built-in attribute directives. ngClass directive used for adding and removing CSS classes dynamically. Here if the condition item.employee equals to 1 is true, then the class special will be added here in this tier element, and when this condition is false, this class will be removed if the class is already added. Okay, so let's run the application to see this is working or not. But before run the application, we have to add the class in CSS for see the effect. So let me add a CSS file here in our application. So I will add one folder here in this app. So click on this folder, and the folder name is assets, and here in this folder, sorry, actually I want to add this folder here inside this src, so drag this here. You can see now the assets folder is inside src folder. Select this folder, and you can also right click on this folder for add new file. Here click on new file. Okay, my css.css. okay, so this is my css class. Here I need to write this css class what I have mentioned here in this here element is special for see the effects. So dot class, let me add background color, background as color green. Okay, so what I have done, I have added one class here and set the background color to green. So when the employee ID is equals to 1, that time the row should be green. Okay, so now after adding this css class, I need to add this reference of this class here in our index page. Okay, so here I will add link. Okay, in the href I need to add the css which I have just created. So to add the folder name is assets, and then my css.css. okay, so I have added here. So I will save this one also. All are saved. Now let's run this in a browser, so we can identify this code is valid or not and it's working or not. Okay, for run the application, what I will do, go to view, integrated terminal. Here I will write npm start and then hit enter. Let's see what happened. It started compiling all the TypeScript. It started light server. You can see, it's not working. Let me check this one once. Actually, let me check what is the issue. Actually, you can see here in the inspect element, a special class is added, but okay, it's because I have used bootstrap, so it's override this background color. We can resolve this with adding important here, important. Now if I see, you can see here now it's showing the background color is green when the employee ID is 1. Okay, let's use ngStyle attribute directive now. Here in this line, you can see the text content is not readable, so here we will add a ngStyle directive for change the color of the tr html element conditionally. Okay, so what I will do, just go here again. Now I will use ngStyle here for adding the background text color using ngStyle. What I need to do is style dot color color, and then here I need to provide value of color, not like class where I need to provide boolean value. Here I need to provide the actual value for this style. So what I will write here, I will write if this condition is true, then color will be white, otherwise it will be black. Okay, this ngStyle is a little bit different than ng class attribute. here we have to provide value of the property we are using in case of ngStyle, not the true or false like ngClass. So that's the reason I have provided white when this condition is true, and if this condition is false, then the text color will be black. Let's save this one and see the browser if there is any changes happen. You can see here now the text color is white and it's now readable. Till now we have learned about built-in attribute directives and how to use. Let's create a custom attribute directive now. You can see here in this image, when I'm doing mouse over on the search bar section, it's showing a shadow effect for make it more visible. This is what we will create our custom attribute directive for. Okay, let me close this all what I have opened here, Control C, Y, close it, close all this. Okay, now we will create our custom directive. Creating directives in Angular 2 is similar like creating component, but here we have to decorate the class with directive decorator instead of component decorator. Let's create it. So first of all, we have to add a TypeScript class for creating Angular 2 directive. So in our application, I will add one folder here inside this shared folder for create our new custom directive. So here our class and the folder name should be my visibility. Okay, this is our new folder, and inside this folder I will add one TypeScript class which we will convert to Angular 2 custom directive attribute directive. Okay, so right click on this folder and create new file. Here I will add my visibility dot directive dot ts. Okay, so I have added one new TypeScript file here. Now here I need to write one TypeScript class with export class my visibility directive. Okay, this is our class name. I have added export because I want to use this directive outside of this class, so we need to provide export keyword because from otherwhere I will import this one, and then I need to import from Angular 4. I have to import directive. Okay, and then what I will do for make this class as an Angular 2 directive, I have to use directive decorator. Okay, and then I will provide required metadata information here. So our first is selector. Okay, so here I need to provide the selector name, which will be our host element attribute name. Okay, for use this director. So here my my visibility, this is our selector name. So we have already created our new custom directive. Now here I need to provide one property which is focused, is a boolean type, and by default value is false. Okay, so this is one property here I have declared of boolean type, and what we will do with that, we will update the value of this property when we will mouse enter and mouse out on a element where we will apply this custom directive. So we should have two methods here in this class for update the isFocus property value to true when we will mouse enter and update to false when we will mouse out from this element, right? So let's add these two method here. On focus, return void, this is the one method. From here I will update the value, sorry, this dot is focus equals to true, and the second method is on focus out void, and here what I will do is focus to false. Okay, so now the question is how we will call these methods when mouse entered or leave from the host element. This method should be called when we will mouse enter on the element where I will apply this directive, and this method should be called when we will mouse out from the element where we have applied this my visibility directive, right? So how we can do that? We can do that with the help of host listener decorator. Host listener can bind an event to an element. When we will add the host listener decorator on any method, Angular will invoke the method when host element emits the specified event. Let's see how we can do that. So what I want is Angular automatically call this method when anyone will mouse over on the element where we will apply my visibility directive, right? Or apply host listener. I need to import it from Angular code, host decorator, sorry, it should be host listener, yeah, this one, host listener. Okay, and then we can apply here the host listener decorator, and then here I need to provide the event name for what it will be called. So here I will write mouse enter. So whenever our mouse will be enter on the element where I will apply this decorator, this method will be automatically called by the Angular. Okay, and similarly we can apply this method when anyone will mouse leave, right, from this mouse leave from the host element. Now when we will mouse enter on the host element, the isFocus property value will be true, and when we will mouse out from the element, the value of the property isFocused will be false. But the question is how we will apply the shadow effect on the host element based on the isFocus property value, right? For the shadow effect, we can write a CSS class where we will add CSS code for shadow effect. But how we can add that CSS class dynamically on the host element based on the isFocus property value? We can do that with the help of host binding decorator. The host binding decorator allow us to programmatically set a property value on the host element. So here we will add host binding decorator on this isFocused property. So Angular will automatically update the host element when the value of this property will update. So what we need to do, first of all we need to import host binding, this one, right? And then I need to apply this host binding here, host binding decorator, and now I need to provide here what I need to do, I want to add one class when this property value is true. So here I need to write class dot my visibility. So this class will be added on the host element when the isFocus property will be true, and this will be done by the Angular automatically because we have applied host binding here in this property. So we don't need to think much about it, it will be done by the Angular itself. So I have to create the my visibility CSS class before apply this custom attribute directive on any existing HTML element. So what I will do, I will go to my CSS class, and then here I will write this this CSS class for apply the shadow effect. So let me add CSS, it should be box shadow. Then I have to provide it here 0 pixel from left and top, and then 30 pixels will spread 5 pixel, and then I need to provide the color RGB 199. This is done. We can also apply transitions here or make it looks a little much more perfect. To be applied on box shadow. Then we have to provide time 0.5 second. Out. Okay, so this is the effect will be added when this class will be added on the host element. This is not applicable for all the browsers, so what I will do, I will copy paste this one, and then for the Mozilla MOZ dash we can add this one, and for WebKits we can add dash WebKit dash shadow. So it will work on all the browser. Okay, this is done, and this is also done. Now what I will do, I will add this directive in our app module. So what I need to do here, I will open the app.module.ts file, import from dot dash shared slash my visibility slash my visibility dot directive. This is the path from where I want to import my visibility directive, and then I need to add this here in the declaration section for use this directive on our application. So this is done. Now what I will do, as I have shown you in the image, we need to apply this on the search bar here. So I will apply here in this section. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to just copy this selector from here, and if I want to apply it here in the nav property of the search bar, so I just need to paste it here in this HTML tag as a attribute. Okay, this is why it's called attribute directive. We can apply this with the help of attribute. So this is already applied here. Now let's see the effect. Let me run this application again. So what I will do, also integrated terminal from view, then npm start, and then I will hit enter for run this application. Press enter. It will again compile all the files. So it's already applied. Now you can see here, whenever I'm doing the mouse over on the search bar section, it's showing the shadow effect. Okay, so it's working fine. And also we can apply anywhere if we want this one now. So just I need to add this attribute in any HTML element. So let me add this one in the employee list. If I add this one here in the table, so whenever I will mouse over on the table, it will show fine. Let me check, refresh. You can see it's working. You can see now when I am doing mouse over on this table, it's also showing the shadow effect. Okay, this is working fine. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and view my next video where I explain about Angular 2 structural directive.